Alright guys, this guide is not going to include a basic overview of Syndra. If you're watching this video, I'm assuming that you already know Syndra's abilities, so we're just going to jump right into how to become a better Syndra player. This guide is going to be broken down into 5 categories: her power spikes, laning phase, useful combos, late game, and lastly we'll finish up with runes, masteries, and her build. So first we have her power spikes. When learning any champion, it's important to understand their power spikes. When are they the strongest, and when are they the weakest? Well, that's the first thing to understand with Syndra. Syndra's passive makes her very unique. Syndra has a power spike at level 2, 3, 6, 9, 13, 16, and 18. Most champions have about half the amount of power spikes that Syndra has, but this is what makes Syndra so unique. She remains strong throughout the entire game, but is strongest at each of these levels. Just about every champion does power spike at level 2, 3, and 6, so this is nothing new for Syndra, but the first thing you need to do to become a better Syndra is to utilize this. The best way to utilize her power spikes is by going for trades with the enemy whenever you hit these power spikes first. A trade in lane can be defined as damaging your opponent without going for the kill, and in return losing farm or also taking damage. It's a trade-off. You get your enemy a little lower, and they get something from you. And this brings us to the next topic, which is laning phase. Trading is at the core of laning phase. In order to win your lane, you first need to learn how to pick a favorable trade. We covered that you can do this through utilizing power spikes, but there's many other ways of picking these trades too. For example, a trade can become more favorable when you have a larger minion wave. A trade can also be favorable when you harass as they go to last hit a minion. Items also play a big part in trading, which is why snowballing occurs. Keeping these core concepts of laning in mind, let's talk about trading tactics unique to Syndra. The first useful combo for Syndra is what I like to call the orb bait. The orb bait is a trading tactic where you leave an orb on top of the minion wave, and just as the enemy laner goes for a last hit, you use your E to stun them, and you follow it up with a WQ auto attack combo. When you finish this combo, you either disengage immediately or go for an all-in. You won't know which is better until you've played enough Syndra where you understand her limits. The second useful combo on Syndra is QE immediately, and if the stun lands, you follow it up with a W and an auto attack. This will proc your Thunderlords as well, and you should take little to no damage in return if you disengage immediately. What makes Syndra my favorite mid laner is that her Q and W abilities have no input buffer, meaning you can continually move as you cast these abilities. This is what makes trading against Syndra very difficult, and also gives her incredible outplay potential. Both of the combos that we went over can have Syndra's ultimate added onto the end of it for an execution combo. Keep in mind that Syndra's ultimate does do more damage the more balls you have out, so it's always optimal to get one more Q off before you use your ult onto the target if possible. The last useful combo in lane is the WQ auto attack. This combo can be done almost instantly because her Q and W have no input buffer like I mentioned. This combo is also best done when the enemy goes to last hit, but if you're quick enough, you can run this combo pretty much whenever you want. Now, if you're running your combos properly, you're winning trades, and you find yourself creating an advantage in lane, you need to capitalize on that. The first way to capitalize is obvious: keep killing the enemy laner. Syndra is extremely easy to snowball with once you obtain a lead. Sometimes, though, the enemy laner will not give you an opportunity to kill him, in which case you need to snowball through denying farm. Denying farm is done in 2 ways. The first way is through zoning. This occurs when you position yourself on a minion wave where the enemy cannot go to last hit without putting themselves in the position where you can kill them. The second way to deny farm is through pushing your wave into their turret. Farming under turret can be difficult for mages, so if zoning becomes a non-option, you should instead hard push into their turret. You should also punish them when they back by doing the same thing. Now, once you have pushed the wave into their turret, it becomes unsafe to stay in lane if you don't know where the enemy jungler is. So once you push the wave, you can first look for an opportunity to roam. Syndra's roams are very strong because she has AoE CC and incredible burst. If you can't safely harass the enemy under their turret, roaming becomes the best option. Let's now move on to Syndra's late game. Syndra is extremely versatile. She works well with pick comps, she works well with teamfighting comps, and she even works well with siege comps. She has incredible range on her abilities, she has amazing single target burst, but she also has AoE on all of her spells. The way I play Syndra in the late game is I analyze my team composition and I ask myself, what are our strengths as a team? If we have a lot of single target focus, then I focus on picking off targets with my stun. If we have a good wombo combo or just a strong team fight, then I'll play a little further back and bombard the enemy with my AoE. And if we have a strong siege comp, then my main focus becomes poking the enemy with my team, using my incredible wave clear and long range on my spells. Next we have the runes and masteries that I run on Syndra. I always run Ignite Flash on Syndra for my summoner spells. For builds, I give 3 options as you can see here. The purple build, which is best when you're against a bursty mage in lane. The no abyssal build, which is where you just skip abyssal and go right into more damage items. I'll build this if I find myself snowballing in lane. And then the verse AD build, which is where you substitute abyssal with Zhonya's. Pretty straightforward. Lastly, how to skill your abilities. Always max Q first, no matter what. You do have a choice between maxing W or E second. If you're like me, max E second, because I like having the shorter cooldown on my E because I'm pretty aggressive and I like going for more kill pressure. If you want more raw damage though, max W second. The choice is really up to you. That concludes my Syndra guide. I really hope this gives you a new perspective on how to play Syndra and ultimately how to play mid lane in general. I hate to end another video with some stupid cliche line, but practice does make perfect, so just go out and get used to her. She's pretty strong right now, so I definitely recommend her. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, it helps me out. If you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment. I read all of the comments, and if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time.